welcome to our core strengthening and flexibility training session. Live this morning, we are going to be working our abdominals and we're going to be lengthening the spine and developing flexibility in the legs and throughout the body. So there's going to be a lot of stretching, a lot of ab work. It's going to feel really good. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to start off in an all fours position. We're going to position the wrists so they're below the shoulders and the knees are below the hips. From here, we're going to go into some cat-cow to wake up the spine. So I'd like you to drop your belly and roll your shoulders away from your ears. Head comes up. And then I'd like you to push the mat away from you, rounding through the spine and dropping the head. Good. Inhale, we're going to drop the belly and roll the shoulders down and back. And exhale, we're pushing the mat away, rounding through the spine, creating space between each of the vertebrae as we lower the head. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Nice fluid movement. Inhaling feels really good to start off the workout in this way. Good. Inhale, we arch. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. And then round, really separating each of the vertebrae as you do so. Let's take two more. Inhaling and exhaling, really lift the center of the back up toward the ceiling. Last one, drop your belly, roll your shoulders down, and then lift. And then bring the spine back to neutral. Nicely done. From here, we're going to curl the toes. Walk the hands out a little bit further in front of the shoulders. Make sure those fingers are spread. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to push the hips up toward the ceiling. Flattening out the upper back, bending the knees as much as you need to here to get that lift in the hips. Take a couple of really nice deep breaths here. Just relax your neck and shoulders. Let your head hang between your shoulders as you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, and we're going to start to pedal out the feet here, bringing alternating heel down to the mat, keeping the hips elevated. Good, stretching out the backs of the legs here, continuing to stretch the spine. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to level out the heels and lift the right leg up high. Reach and stretch, and then lower the right leg down, tapping the toe to the mat, and then lift up again. So we're going to inhale to lower the leg and exhale to lift. Inhale, lower, tap the big toe down to the mat, exhale, lift. We've got 3 and 2, tap and lift, and last 1, lift, lower, and soften knees down to the mat. Bring big toes together, knees are nice and wide, and sink back into child's pose for a breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Come forward. Bring your knees back to parallel, and we're going to push back up into that downward dog again. This time we're going to, just slipped on my mat. This time we're going to lift and lower that left leg. So lengthen through those left toes. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap the toe down to the mat, the big toe, and exhale, lift. Nice work. Really flatten out that upper back. Keep the hips elevated. Stretching and lengthening as you go. For 2 and last one. And lower down. Soften your knees down to the mat. Bring yourself into a kneeling position. From here, we're just going to roll out the shoulders. So we're going to lift our fingertips up toward the ceiling and then round the shoulders down and back. Lift and lengthen and round, down and back. Let's take two more. Really reach through those fingertips. Amazing work. Okay, from here, we're going to get into an all fours position. So I would like you to ensure that your wrists are below your shoulders and your knees are below your hips. From here, we're going to stretch the right arm out long and stretch the left leg out long. Now from here, we're going to lift and lower the right arm and the left leg at the same time. Now as we do so, we're really plugging the navel in toward the spine. We're working on core strength and trunk stability here. So we want to really keep that trunk still and stable. Lift and lower. Lift, lengthening through the fingers and the toes, and lower. Now if you're finding that you're losing stability in this position, I'd like you to take your arm up, lower it, take your leg up, lower it. Rather than moving at the same time, you're going to alternate between the arm and the leg, focusing on pulling your belly towards your spine and stabilizing through the trunk. Your gaze is down on the floor, either alternating arm and leg or lifting arm and leg together. Nice work. We've got 4 and 3. Abs are connected to the breath. So we're inhaling to lower, and as we exhale, we're lifting the abdominal wall and tightening the core. Good. Now we're going to hold, and we're going to attempt to bring the elbow and the knee together and then elongate. Now again, if that's too much for you, I want you to go back to lifting and lowering and continue to build strength and stability from that position that we were just doing. Otherwise, you're rounding your spine slightly and bringing your elbow and your knee to touch, and then straightening the arm and leg back out. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, tap. Exhale, extend. Keep it slow and steady. We've got one more. Hold, balancing, and then lower down. Take your hands under your shoulders, take your knees nice and wide, and stretch back into child's pose. Take a deep breath here, lengthening through the spine, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Nice work. Now I'd like you to return to your all fours position. And from here, we're going to extend the right leg out long and extend the left arm. Make sure your shoulders are level. Belly is really plugged in toward the spine here. We're going to lift and lower, or alternating arm and leg. Good. Now point through those toes, lengthen through those fingers, and keep the gaze down on the floor so your neck stays in line with your spine. Good. Breathe out to lift. Connect the breath with that abdominal engagement. Good. Lifting your abdominal wall as you lift the arm and the leg. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and final 1. Nice stability. Now elbow and knee, extend, or carry on lifting and lowering the arm and leg. Round through the spine, and then spine comes into neutral as we extend. Keep this really slow, no need to rush the movement. We're focusing on strengthening and lengthening here. Strengthening, lengthening, and stabilizing. Nicely done. We've got 3. Maintain your focus. And 2. Amazing work. And last 1. And stretch. Lower down. This time we're going to keep the hips elevated as we separate the knees, bring the big toes together, walk the hands out in front, and stretch into puppy pose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing. Use your hands to help you bring yourself into a kneeling position. And from here, we're going to start working a little bit more intensely into those abs. So we're going to start off in position for our C curve. We're going to take our hands behind the thighs and really sit up nice and tall, elevating up through the crown of the head. And we want to make sure that our feet are parallel, our legs are parallel, and our legs are hip distance apart. From here, we're going to inhale to prepare. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone and start scooping the abdominal wall in toward the spine as we round the spine slightly into the shape of a C. Deep inhale here and exhale, pull belly in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, the whole way up, straightening the spine. So we're inhaling, exhaling, curve it back, switch those abs on, keep those legs parallel, and then take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale, pull belly in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, and use those abs to lift. I'm going to release my hands now. Hands are going to come out in front, palms facing in toward each other. Deep inhale and exhale, roll it back, contract that core. Good, inhale. And exhale, pull belly to spine, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, the whole way up. Good, let's take 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Try to go back a little bit further this time. Hold with those abdominals. And lift. Nice work. Now we're going to come down and add some leg lifts. So we're inhaling and we're exhaling, coming back into the shape of a C, extending the right leg, lifting it as we hold in that C curve and lowering, reaching through those fingers, lengthening through those toes. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, belly to spine to lower. Lift and lower. Nice work. Lift and lower. We've got 3 and 2. Good. And final 1. Lift it up and lower. Now from here, we're going to roll back up, bend both knees. I'm going to take a hold behind my thighs and stretch and lengthen through the spine. Inhaling and exhaling before we switch sides. So arms are out in front. We're rolling back into our C curve, extending the left leg, lengthening through those toes, lengthening through those fingers as we inhale and exhale. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears as you bring it up and lower it down. Good. Inhale up, exhale down, belly to spine. Lift and control the leg on the way down by contracting your abdominal wall and moving slowly. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Nice work. Final 1. Lift and lower and roll yourself back up. Nice little spine stretch here by pressing the hands into the backs of the thighs. Good work. Now from here, we're gonna slowly roll down to the mat, one vertebra at a time, and we're going to move into our single leg stretch. So we're gonna bring the right leg in toward the chest and extend the left leg out long. I'm gonna take my right hand on my shin and my left hand is just coming under the right knee. From here, we're gonna inhale to prepare, and as we exhale, we're gonna hug that knee in a little bit closer toward the chest, tightening the abdominal wall, and then switch. Good, and switch. So it's an inhale and then an exhale to bring the knee in toward the chest. Good, hugging the knee in, keeping the legs in the frame of the body. If you're good here, I'd like you to pick head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat. Good, as you stretch that leg out long, keeping your belly contracted in toward your spine, and your spine is flat on the mat. Good, and nice. Hug that knee in as you breathe out. If it gets too much with head, neck, and shoulders elevated, simply lower them down to the mat and focus on that core engagement throughout the movement. We've got 5 and 4. Stretch it in for 3 and 2 and final 1. Extend both legs out long and lower them down to the mat. Nicely done. We're now going to go into our rollovers. So if you can, you're going to start your rollover from down on the mat. You're inhaling to come up, exhaling to reach and stretch to fold over. If you can't come all the way up from the mat, I'd like you to start here from a C curve. You're inhaling up and exhaling over. So whatever version you can manage, either full rollover or half, work within your own level. So we're gonna inhale to come up, reach and stretch, exhale, fold over, inhale at the bottom, and as you exhale, you're pulling belly to spine and lowering down one vertebra at a time. Good, peel up. Use those lower abs on the way down. Try to ripple down one vertebra at a time, slowly and with control. Use your upper ab strength to lift up and stretch the spine as you fold over. Good. Inhale, peel up. This is a great exercise for spinal articulation and flexibility. We're working our abs at the same time and stretching our back body as we fold over. It's a very, very beneficial exercise. Good. Lift it up and fold and stretch over. Let's take 2 more. Lowering with control, lifting and folding. Nice work. Last one. We're lifting up, reaching and holding in our forward folded stretch. Drop the crown of the head. Straighten the legs as much as you can. Hold on to either your calves or your feet, whatever you can reach. Good, and stretch it out. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, pull your belly in toward your spine, creating a little bit more space so you can fold over a little bit further. Deepening the stretch. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Elevate back up. Nice work. Now use your hands to help you to roll down to the mat. We're going to go into our leg circles. So if you joined me for my last core strengthening and flexibility workout, we worked on these circles. They're good to practice and improve on over time. I'm going to hug my right knee in toward my chest, feeling the stretch, and then I'm going to straighten that right leg. If you can't reach your hands behind your calf, I'd like you to hold on behind your thigh and just stretch that right hamstring. Now we're gonna bend the knee, inhaling, and exhale, stretch, pulling the leg gently toward the chest. Good work. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch and lengthen a little bit more. Inhale, bend. And exhale, extend, stretch, stretch, stretch. Release your hands, keeping your leg where it is. Now I'm going to place my hands on my belly here so that I can really make sure that I am engaging my core with this exercise and keeping the hips still and stable. Now if it's too much with your legs straight, simply bend it. We're going to start circling. We're circling down, sweeping the leg past the bent knee, circling away from the body and back to the start point. So we're circling, keeping the toes pointed and returning to the start point. So take a nice deep inhale as you start the circle, and exhale as you sweep up and around, ensuring that you're engaging your core, pulling your belly button down away from your hands as you do so. We want to keep those hips still and stable so we're not rocking around in the hips. And if you need to make your circle a little smaller to get that control, please do so. Good. And one more in this direction. Good. And pause. Now we're going to circle it in the opposite direction, sweeping past the knee and back to the start point. So taking the leg away from the body, circling past the knee and pausing. Good. Now I want you to imagine, like I said last time, that you've got a little teacup with a saucer balanced on that left knee and you don't want to spill. So make sure that that left leg is really stable and stationary as well. Good. We've got 4. I know these are challenging. Good. And 3. And 2. And last circle. And bend the knee and relax it down. Nicely done. Okay. Now we're going to hug that left knee in toward the chest. Hug it in close. And then stretch and lengthen the leg, pulling it gently toward the chest. Inhale to bend. Exhale to stretch and lengthen. Good. Inhale, bend. Exhale, pull it back a little bit closer toward your chest. And last one. Pull the leg toward the chest and hold it there. Hands come back on the abdomen and we are circling. Circle just past the knee and then down, around, away from the body and pause on the start point. Keeping that right leg still and stable, balancing that teacup on the knee. Good, as you draw these smooth circles in the air. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Abdominals are contracted as you breathe out. And last 1. Nice work. Now reverse direction. Take the leg away from the body. Sweep it past the bent knee and pause on that start point. Good. Working into the hip flexors here too. Keep really pointing through the toe so that you can feel it in those leg muscles. Legs are working. Abs are working. Nice work. Keep circling. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1 and lower the leg down. Bring both knees in toward the chest, stretching out the low back here, pressing the low back down onto the mat, connecting the tailbone with the mat here too, so you can feel a nice stretch in the lumbar spine. Good. For 3 and 2 and 1. Lower your feet down to the floor. Now from here, we're going to go into our straight leg stretch. So we're going to bring one knee in toward the chest and take a hold. Same thing again, either behind the calf or the thigh, whatever you can reach. We're going to peel head, neck, and shoulders up and stretch the opposite leg out long, lowering those shoulders down away from the ears. And we're going to pulse the leg twice toward the chest. Pulse, pulse, and then switch. Pulse, pulse, and switch the legs in the air. Good. Pulse, pulse, and switch. Nice. So little stretches in toward the chest before switching the legs. So we're inhaling to switch, exhale to pulse the leg in, and as you pulse in, you're trying to flatten the abdominal wall down toward the spine. Again, if it's too much with head, neck, and shoulders elevated, simply lower them down to the mat. Good. And switch. And switch. Nice work. Good. We've got 5. Lengthening through the back of the leg. 4. Working those abdominals. Good. 2. And 1. Hold it here. You can keep your head, neck, and shoulders elevated or lower them down. Release your hands down by your sides. And we're going to go into some scissor kicks in the air. 10 here. Good. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold both legs together and both legs down. Amazing. Now from here, we're going to get into some oblique work. So we're going to take the right hand behind the head, take the left hand, left arm over head. I'm going to bend my left knee and keep the right leg extended. Now from here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the left fingertips up so that we're touching the right shin. Good. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Really pick that left shoulder blade up off the mat as you tap the fingertips to the shin. Good. And cinch in your waistline as you lift up, working into those obliques. Good work. Supporting your head in your hand with that right hand. Good work. Really lift up a bit higher each time, challenging yourself. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1 and lower down. Amazing work. Let's switch sides. So the left hand comes behind the head, right knee bends, right hand comes overhead, and we're inhaling here and we're exhaling, right fingertips to left shin. Nice. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Good. Nice work. Good. Really pick that right shoulder blade up off the mat, pointing hard through those left toes so that the leg muscles are working here too. And really contracting that belly button toward the spine every time you lift up. We've got 4. Lift a bit higher. For 3 and 2 and final 1. Lift and lower down. Straighten both legs out long and roll over onto your stomach. Amazing work. Let's take our hands on either side of our shoulders. Legs are hip distance apart. Come up into your cobra like so, or all the way up onto your palms, stretching out that abdominal wall. So roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. For 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. Use your hands to help you to come into an all fours position. Take those knees nice and wide, big toes come together. Walk your hands out in front of your shoulders and sink your forehead down to the mat, keeping your hips elevated. Draw your armpits down toward the floor, stretching and lengthening through the spine. Good. Take a deep breath in through the nose, filling the back of the rib cage. And slowly exhale, letting the breath travel down your spine. For 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. Use your hands to help you. Come into a kneeling position. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. Inhale and exhale. Roll them down and back. Let's take 2 more. And last one. Lift and melt the tension away as you roll those shoulders down and back. Amazing work. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel really long and stretched. I hope you felt it in the core. I know I did. And I hope more than anything that you enjoy the rest of your day. So have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow morning for our next live. Bye.